20,300 people have now arrived in small boats since January, according to government data, after a further 283 migrants were detected on Sunday. GB News Home Affairs and Security Editor Mark White joins me now in the studio to discuss those figures getting bigger by the day.
Yes, only seems like days ago I was sat here, Esther, and we were contemplating the fact that 20,000 could be reached within a matter of days, 18,000 having been passed at that point. Well, that's because it was just days ago. It was less than a week ago that we got to that 18,000 milestone. And now, of course, more than 20,000 have crossed. Within days again, we'll be at 21,000. There is no end in sight to this crisis. The government has been trying. You remember in April, of course, Boris Johnson announced at Lyd Airport this three-pronged plan that included the Navy taking command and control of the Channel operations. Well, that's been pretty successful if you judge the measure of success by the fact that they're intercepting all of the boats before they're coming ashore. So they're more effective at doing that, but they're still, of course, then being brought to Kent. The other two prongs of that three-prong plan are in disarray, though. The Linton-on-Ouse site that was going to house 1,200 asylum seekers and would be the blueprint for other such big processing centres or camps to house them has now been abandoned after widespread public outcry in the village of Linton-on-Ouse. And then there's the Rwanda plan, of course, to send thousands of asylum seekers to that country for processing. That is mired in legal challenges and it's going nowhere fast.
But Mark, you can't have just one bit of a three-point plan working. All of it has to work. And this Rwanda policy now has got to work, and people say it's the European Court of Human Rights which has got to be solved. Are either of the two potential Prime Minister candidates doing anything here? Because Labour pretty much isn't going to do anything. Keir Starmer isn't going to do anything with this Rwanda policy. But are those two potential Prime Minister candidates doing enough?
Well, interestingly, both are still wedded to the Rwanda policy. In fact, more than that, they've said that they would extend it to other participating countries if they're willing to be part of this project. But it all depends on whether you can get over this obstacle, which is the ECHR, the European Convention on Human Rights, that we're signed up to, which allows lawyers to challenge those attempts by the British government to put asylum seekers to a third country to be processed. Lots of people believe that you need to come out of the ECHR or you stand no chance of doing this. Both Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss, for the moment, believe that they can bring through the British Bill of Rights, that they can allow British courts to then adopt a sort of an approach which looks upon a narrower definition of what a refugee is than the ECHR's model. But the difficulty is, while the ECHR still has supremacy, then people can challenge it through the ECHR.
And it also seems, if I'm being honest, each time there seems to be a possible path to a solution. As people say, the lefty lawyers come out and there's another hurdle, another obstacle, because a lot of people saying it's the new modern slavery laws which are now preventing people being, processed and going to Rwanda because they just self-declare as slaves, and therefore there is another delay there. So is this the case? Will we ever find a solution?
Well, who knows? But I think from the lefty lawyers' point of view, I think they would say that they're doing their job. They're there to protect people who are vulnerable, who are coming across the channel, who need to be protected. And in doing that, yes, they will find new ways. Every time one avenue is blocked, they'll find another way to try and ensure that those people have the right to remain in this country. So it is difficult trying to stay one step ahead. Well, we're never one step ahead at the moment. We always seem to be 2 or 3 steps behind the blocks that get put in place. So it's not going to be easy for whoever is Home Secretary after the new Prime Minister takes office. Will it be Priti Patel? Well, many people think Probably not. But whoever takes on that job, if she is out of office, will have a very, very difficult job to do.